All right, guys. So thanks for hopping on Gen Mobile. Man, we have some awesome, exciting announcements for you guys. We wanted to bring you this Gen Mobile training. We're going to probably do it more frequently to make sure you guys are up to date on all the latest information and make sure you know how to sell, right? We want to make sure that you guys are making that money. That's our job here, is to make you guys as much profit as possible. And with Gen Mobile, you can do just that. So the goal of this training, this is kind of a Gen Mobile 101 training, kind of make sure you guys know how to activate, know about Gen Mobile and their product line. So if you look at something about Gen Mobile is a SIM-based prepaid service providers. Bring your own device. Now, we do have phones available. Don't want to get to the spoiler alert early, but there are now phones available. But for the most case, Gen Mobile is a great option for those customers who have their own phone, that they just don't like with their current provider. They want to switch over. They have a device that's in good working order. Those iPhones last forever. So they can bring their own device and get super affordable rates with Gen Mobile. The service works on AT&T's network and T-Mobile's network. So the service is going to be awesome. You know, sometimes when people think, oh, well, I don't know, I haven't heard of Gen Mobile before. Well, they're going on AT&T's towers, right? So this is a major player in our industry. So they have international calling to over 100 destinations, provided your customers are on that $20 rate plan or up. Yes, we have that $10 rate plan offer, but my advice to you, you don't really want to sell that. There's not a lot of profit in that. You want to make sure you're selling at least that $20 rate plan or up, because that's what's going to give you the most value and your customers the most value when they're picking their line of service. The activation is not IMEI locked to the device. The customer can remove that SIM that you're activating for them on Gen Mobile, and they can put it into another compatible device. The TSP portal activation process is very quick. Typically takes less than 2 minutes, and it's going to allow you guys to maximize your profitability, so you're not tied up doing an activation. It's going to take you 40, 45 minutes, which I know sometimes it can with some of the other providers, right? So Gen Mobile, it's meant to compete against like your phones that you guys see at Walmart, like your H2O, your TracFone, your Ultra, your Simple. Those brands, those represent over 25 million customers nationwide. So there's a huge chunk of our customer base that's out there looking for these plans around that $20 price point. Different from like your Boost Mobiles, your Crickets and Metros, which they all play in that $50 price point. 50 and 60 is kind of where they're at all day. They're not playing in these price points that you have for Gen Mobile. So it's really nice. If you're a multi-carrier dealer, you have Boost and Gen Mobile, you have an option for every single customer walking in your door. Your customers walk in, they don't have a lot of cash on their pockets, we can still get them out the door with service with Gen Mobile. So bring your own device, right? So bring your own device. You have the two networks you guys can operate on. You have the pink and blue is what you're going to see on the back of your SIM cards. The red SIM cards, those are the pink ones on the back. That's for your T-Mobile network. The white SIM cards, which have the blue on the back, that is for your AT&T market, AT&T network rather. So most devices in the market are compatible with like Simple, H2O, Ultra, TracFone. Those customers who have those phones already on those low price carriers, those phones that they have most likely are going to work, because most of those devices for Simple, most of those devices for H2O, most of those devices for TracFone and Ultra, those will work with Gen Mobile. So if you guys have those customers come in, you can sell them, you can activate service on those devices, or if you happen to have unlocked devices. I know a lot of stores out there do repairs, and you have a lot of kind of phones that you guys have had in and you repaired up. You have these unlocked devices in your cases. I see them all the time. Those unlocked devices can absolutely be used on Gen Mobile. Again, you're just choosing what area has better coverage for you. Is it you have better coverage with the T-Mobile network or better coverage with the AT&T network? And based on that, you can assign them what SIM card to activate on. Price plans, they have everything from $10 to $60. Now, I just mentioned we don't really want to go heavy on that $10 price plan. You know, that would be really ideal for, say, grandma or grandpa. Maybe they're not texting, they're not doing anything with data. They just need to make and receive a call. Those are your customers you're going to put on the $10 plan. Someone, you know, a really good market for that would be a nursing home. You know, if you guys ever think about going outside your four walls, you can go to, if you went to a nursing home and asked to partner up with them, I can get your elderly customers service for as low as $20 a month. And of course, I'm going to always start at 20. I'm not going to start at 10, but I have the option to go down to 10 for those customers, right? But $10 a month, unlimited talk, text, 1 gig of data. But the $20 is where I want you guys to focus on, because that's where you get your rebates for your phone. That's where your profit really starts at, your $20 plans and higher. $20 is unlimited talk and text and 4 gigs of that high-speed data. $30 a month gives you 7 gig, 40 gives you 16 gigs, and 50 gives you unlimited and a 10 gigabyte hotspot. 60 also gives you unlimited, but you get an extra 10 gigs of hotspot. You get 20 gigs of that hotspot for that 60. So that $50 plan really is just like Boost, right? It's a 35 gigs of high speed, then it throttles. Same as Boost, you know, they hit that mark with data and then it throttles. It's the same thing, but that $50 plan is truly unlimited, unlimited talk, text, and data, but does throttle after that hits that 35 gigabyte cap. Also, the $20 plans and higher is really important. You know, they have the unlimited international calling, and they do get a $10 international talk credit on those plans as well. And this is awesome for your customers who live overseas. Gen Mobile is such a great option for them. Unlimited calling to over 100 destinations on the $20 plan or up. You can kind of see on the Gen Mobile website, or if you're looking online now, you can see kind of all the countries, and some of them have that little M on it. That's to differentiate unlimited calling to the landline, or if you have unlimited calling to mobile as well. So you have a little M by it, then you're also getting that unlimited mobile calling. And again, you get that $10 monthly talk credit on any plan, $10 or up. So the $20 4 gigabyte plan, that's kind of the bread and butter from what I've seen with Gen Mobile. I've seen that if you can sell higher, you want to sell higher, but $20 seems to be that bread and butter. Again, we have that 50 for that 10 gigabytes, 10 gigabyte hotspot that comes included. So if you have customers, they want internet on their go, maybe they have kids, they have tablets, you know, if they travel a lot, they want to be able to put their kids' tablet on a hotspot and have internet. Awesome. We can absolutely hook those customers up for that. And also, just you know, your customers do have a 15-day text freebie that stays with them if they're late on their bill. So with prepaid, you got to pay your month at a time, right? If you happen to be late and the customer can't make a phone, what's really nice about Gen Mobile is they do have 15 days where they can still text. So they will still be able to text someone, you know, in case of an emergency, they could get a hold of someone via text so they can come back in and make that next payment. Now, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about the IMEI compatibility. You want to make sure the phones coming in are unlocked. Is a customer, if they're not sure if that phone's unlocked and ready to use on the pink or the blue network, AT&T or T-Mobile's network, you give their current carrier call a check if you want. You can also check the compatibility with the phone's IMEI. This is really neat. I tried this on my phone too. So if you need to know your phone's IMEI, you hit *#06# from the dialer, and that's going to pop up, and I'll kind of show you guys what that looks like. So *#06#. Let me get on my screen here for a second. So, oh, that's gonna there you go. If I put it right by my face, you can see this is what you're gonna pop up. So it's gonna show you the IMEI of the phone. So for any customers that come in, you do that little trick on their phone, and you'll be able to get that IMEI information for that customer's phone. Okay, now let me jump back in. Okay, so once you get that IMEI, you can check to see if that device is compatible with the IMEI checker with Gen Mobile. So you want to make sure that you are always checking the version, because there can be many versions of the same phone. So you want to make sure you know the model number. For example, the Galaxy S20, there's a lot of different models of that. The G981U and G981U1 of the Galaxy S20 will work on the Blue network. But the Galaxy S20 models that end in 1F, 1N, and 10, those will not work on the Blue network. So it's really important you guys are checking this compatibility with the IMEI checker for every customer that you're putting on your SIM card to make sure their service is going to work. Also, the Gen Mobile app. Make sure you guys are putting this Gen Mobile app in your customer's phone as part of your setup process. It's going to allow customers to check the minutes and their data usage. If they need to know what their PIN is, so a customer comes in to make a payment, they need to know what their PIN is. If they don't know it, if they have that app, they can request their PIN number right there on the app. They can see their billing due date, and they can also do any add-ons if necessary. The My Gen Mobile app is available in the App Store for iPhones and Google Play. So just make sure you guys are making this a part of your activation process. When it comes to support, there's a customer support line and a dealer support line. If your customers need any information, they can simply call 611 from their phone, or there is an 800 number if they don't have their phone with them. Or for you as a dealer, you have your own hotline, which is the 833-436-6624. You will need the customer's PIN and password. So that's why if they don't know their PIN, then you want to make sure they have that Gen Mobile app, and they'll be able to find out what that PIN is. You also have the option of going to genmobile.com and chatting with a live support agent. They're 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 days a week. Now, a couple cool things that are happening in Q3 and beyond. So in Q3, this is actually already launched. Gen Mobile launched roaming into Canada and Mexico. So now we do have roaming available for our customers in the continental or North America, I guess, not in the United States, in North America, in both Canada and Mexico. And then in Q1 of next year, the Gen Mobile is going to launch an even more expansive roaming option. eSIM activations, they are the ability to be activated in devices as of June in 2024. So we can do eSIMs as well. So this is awesome news for us. And recently announced, you guys have asked for it, so Gen Mobile is delivering. They have a retailer demo line program. So this is really awesome. You guys can actually get up to 2 free demo lines per store. How it works is you need to get at least 5 activations per month. If you get 5 activations per month, you get light up with 1 demo line. It's going to be on the AT&T network. So if you get between 5 and 9 activations, you qualify for 1 demo line on the AT&T network. If you do 2 or 10 or more activations, you get 2 demo lines. You'll get 1 on the AT&T network, 1 on the T-Mobile network. So this is an awesome way to reward your reps with free service. If they're selling this product, they can have their wireless covered for free. Now, this is something Boost Mobile doesn't offer, guys. This is just with Gen Mobile. So this is an awesome option for you guys. And how this works is if your store hits over 5 activations in a calendar month, let's say you did 6. About the 7th of the following month, you're going to get an email from the Gen Mobile team saying that you can go ahead and sign up to get your demo line. If you do over 10, you'll also get your email saying you can sign up to get 2 demo lines. This is something that's going to be looked at every single month, and you have to keep hitting that number. If the following month hits and you don't have 5 the next month, you're probably not going to have service. Now, if within like a day or 2 of the following month you hit your 5, there is a little bit of flexibility there, but you want to make sure you're hitting your 5 every month if you want that free service to continue. Any questions
Adam, so that question about this demo line program, maybe you or someone from the Gen Mobile team will be able to assist us with this. How do retailers submit for this if once they reach those minimum activation goals? Where do they get that form to submit for the demo lines?
Yep, and so I know the answer. Curtis, you want to handle that one? Or someone
actually,
from the Gen Mobile team?
We have Kevin here in our.
Kevin.
Yeah, so basically, you're going to get an email on the 7th of the month that has the link to the form, and then you just fill the form out, send it over to us, reply back, and then we'll activate the SIM card.
Right. So
easy
check
as
your
that.
emails. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Check your emails. Exactly.
Yep. There's nothing you guys have to do proactively. You have to respond to that email is what you have to do. So Gen Mobile is going to know where your sales are at. And like Kevin just told you, on the 7th of the following month is when those emails are going to go out saying that you qualify for that demo line.
And they will get a 30-day grace period. If they do not hit the number, you will get a 30-day grace period. And then after that, if you don't hit it the next month, then we'll cancel off the line.
So they're still eligible for those free incoming text messages and calls with a grace period.
Nice. Just like our customers.
All right.
Hey, Kevin. Also, we are not allowing ports for those as well, right?
New numbers only.
New numbers only. Just making sure everyone knows that too.
Yeah. Good call out. Thank you. All right. Any other questions out there around the demo line program? All right. No more questions. I'll move on. And so I want to talk quickly about how to do the actual activations on a SIM card, right? So if you guys have got there, say, okay, I got these SIMs. Now, how do I do the activation steps? I want to go through this really quickly for you guys. Essentially, what you're going to need is you're going to need that Gen Mobile SIM card, and you're going to need the IMEI of the phone that you're activating on. Again, the SIM card's on the back. Look at the dots. Blue dot, think AT&T network. Pink dot, think T-Mobile network. That's going to tell you which network you're activating the customer on. If you're looking at the front of the SIM cards, the white SIM card is your AT&T SIM card. The red SIM card is your T-Mobile SIM card. So once you have that SIM card and you have that customer's IMEI, which we just showed you how you can get that from any of their phones, but the shortcut method, you want to go into ePay or WebPOS. You want to go into ePay using your login and password. On the home page, you're going to click on that little button for Gen Mobile. And once you're there, you're going to have the product under activations. And then on variation, you're going to select Gen Mobile activation. If it was a port in, obviously you do a port in. In this scenario, we're just saying this is just a new number being created. So you clicked on your Gen Mobile button. You clicked on the product drop-down box, select activation. And then in this case, this is just a new line. So you do Gen Mobile activation. You fill in the basic information, the zip code, the SIM number, the IMEI, click on continue, and then you're going to see the price plan. Under the price plan drop down, you can select the customer's desired phone plan. Important here, if you enter a pink SIM card number, then you're only going to be able to choose the pink network plans. If you enter a blue SIM card network, you're only going to be able to choose the blue network plans because obviously they want that to match. Review the information, make sure it's correct. So in this example, if you guys are following along online, this was a $10 customer, so they have the zip code in there, and it says the Gen Mobile $10 unlimited talk text 1 GB on pink. So this is going to be on the T-Mobile network. You review the information, make sure what you've selected is correct. Click on complete transaction. Then you just click on view receipt, and you can print your receipt right there. And you want to take a minute to review the receipt and capture the customer's phone number. So the phone number is going to be on that receipt. You want to write that down, make sure the customer knows what number you've assigned to them. Click print or done, and there you go. Now, if you want to view this later, you can go into the transactions tab on your homepage to view transaction history. You click on transactions on the ePay TXN ID number, and you can view your details of the receipt, and that's where you would do a refund if a refund was called for. And that's it. I mean, easy peasy, guys, right? I said about 3-4 minute activation process. Very simple, very quick, very easy. So congratulations, if you followed those steps, your customer is now activated on ePay. The dealer support line, again, is here for your reference. And if you want to chat online, you can chat online with Gen Mobile team as well. But very easy. You activate the phone, you top it off, make sure they have the phones on there for the rate plan, and then make your test call. Make your test call to make sure that phone works, and you're good to go. Any questions on doing the regular SIM activation? All right, if not, I'll keep moving forward. So next I want to cover just real briefly, go through this too, eSIMs, right? Because eSIMs are available. Some people are like, well, how do I activate on an eSIM versus a different SIM? So let's go through that real quick on both the blue and the pink. So you're going to select activations, just like we just showed you. You're going to select Gen Mobile activation. So everything's the same so far. Enter the zip code, enter the IMEI, click on continue. Now in the select SIM type, this is where we're going to select eSIM. So the other time we had physical SIM cards, the only difference here is we're putting our eSIM either Gen Blue or eSIM Gen Pink, depending on what network you want that customer to go on. If you want to go on the AT&T network, you're going to go eSIM Gen Blue. You want to go on T-Mobile network, you're going to go eSIM Gen Pink. Then you're going to select the price plan, select the 4-digit account PIN, confirm that account PIN, enter the information. Just follow the stuff that's asking for you on the screen. It's very self-explanatory. Review the information, make sure it's correct before completing the transaction. Press complete transaction, and then ensure the device is connected to Wi-Fi before you complete it. You should see your receipt. The transaction will be a success. Then you view, print your receipt. Again, your customer's number will be on that receipt. Now, if it was a pink network, right? Same steps, activation, Gen Mobile activation. You enter that basic information it's asking you for, the zip code IMEI. The only difference is in the SIM type. Again, you're just going to select, instead of physical SIM card, you're going to select the eSIM. In this case, you're going to go with pink. Then you select the price plan, number of months, 4-digit PIN, confirm the PIN, email, your self-explanatory steps. I mean, it's very fast. Doesn't matter if SIM or eSIM. This is 3-4 minute process. You're good to go. Complete transaction. Customers got their number. Awesome, right? So easy sale, easy activation, very quick. You're going to have a transaction success. Print that receipt, give the customer the number. Now, we've been talking a lot about eSIMs, but the big news that's out there, Gen Mobile now has handsets available. And that's something you guys have been asking for. I was super pumped when I got this because I'm like, finally, we have some low-cost options.
Adam, we have a question from Curtis here. He raised his hand. Curtis.
Hey, guys. So one of the things I want to call out, if you can go back one slide to the eSIM activation process, this is a critical difference between the Gen Mobile Pink and Gen Mobile Blue on eSIM. The Blue eSIM process is exactly the same as our standard SIM activation process. You'll follow it through, you'll hit complete transaction, and the process will go through as normal. If you are activating an eSIM on the Gen Mobile Pink network, though, you'll notice in this screenshot there's a QR code at the bottom of this receipt. After you've hit complete transaction and this pops up on the screen, you need to scan the QR code either on the receipt that you printed out or on the screen in order to generate the phone, or to get the phone in the mode in order to program for the eSIM activation. One of the easiest ways to do this, if you're going to do it on Pink, is for eSIM to have your device on the Wi-Fi network anyways, which will help expedite that activation process. But make sure as part of the Pink eSIM process, you are scanning that QR code, as that's a critical part in it in order to ensure that you're able to finalize that activation. The other thing to note as well is that when you go to put it in the IMEI, if you don't see eSIM Pink or eSIM Blue pop up, that's because the validation checker is identified and realized this device is not eSIM capable. So we won't even give you the options to be able to activate it through eSIM when you put the initial IMEI in it, doing the IMEI check as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for calling that out. I totally breezed over that QR code step. Yes, very important, guys. Pink eSIM. Make sure you are scanning that QR code to complete that activation process for your customer. Thank you so much. Okay, handsets available. So phones with preloaded SIMs are now available for you guys. So the devices that are out there, these are awesome because they have rebates and they're really low price. So we have the Gen Mobile iPhone SE 2020 64 gigabyte white. It's renewed, it's unlocked, it's going to be on the Blue network. And this is a Blue network SIM that's going to be loaded for it. It says here that it could go on white or blue and pink, but it is going to be blue when you order it from us at DCI. That is $150, but it has a $50 rebate as long as that customer gets on a $20 plan or higher, or $20 to $30 plan specifically, actually. So you get a $50 rebate if it's between the $20 and $30 plan, making that only $100 to your customer. So you're talking about getting a customer $120. They could have their first month of service and a device. You know, obviously you want to probably charge a setup fee on there, give them some accessories, but that out the door price is so affordable. To have an iPhone at as low as $120, phenomenal, right? If you go on a $40 plan, the customers will get an even bigger rebate. Instead of a $50 rebate, they get $60 rebate. So that phone would then only cost $90. If a customer goes on a $40 or $50 plan or $60, only $90 for that iPhone SE 2020. And you guys are always made whole on that. So your customers are paying $100, you paid $150 for the phone, you're made whole. You're getting your $150 back. So you want to pass that rebate on to your customer. You want to close more sales. The Blue G5 III, that is also another nice Android phone out there. 6.5-inch screen. It's got a $20 rebate on it, so only $60. So customers who want a nice large screen phone, 6.5 inches, only $60 on a $20 plan or higher, or $50 on a $40 plan or higher. And then we have the MaxWest Astro A65. This is another 6.5-inch screen. This has an additional rebate, though. So this one has an additional $5 rebate on it. The cost for you guys is only $70, so a nice low-price option for your customers. They can actually get in the month of October, this additional $5. So instead of 20 off, they're getting 25 off. So $45, they can have that phone. You charge $20 for your service. You're as low as $65. So, a customer could have their service and a device. On the $40 plans or higher, they get that $30 rebate plus the $5 incentive for October. So the phone's only $35 for a customer on a $40 plan or higher. Some additional facts about these phones. The battery life is 1,821 milliamps for the iPhone SE. It has that 12 megapixel back camera, 7 megapixel front camera. The G53, that one has a great battery, 5,000 milliamp battery, rear dual cameras, 13 megapixels, and an 8 megapixel front facing camera for your selfies. And then the MaxWest Astro A65. Again, that one is 70 for you guys, 40 for the customers, 6.5-inch display, 3,700 milliamp battery, 13 megapixel rear camera, 8 megapixel front camera. In addition to these devices, we also have the Gen Mobile device rebate program on the Blue G33. This is a 32 gigabyte black. This is a new unlocked phone on the Pink network, and the SIMs are included on these devices. That one's $60, has a $20 rebate. So after rebate, that phone is only, an additional $5 for October. That phone's only $35 for your customers. $35. They get 6.3-inch screen. And the $40 plans are higher. It's $30 rebate plus $5 for October, so only $25 there. And then for your customers who just want a flip phone, give me something easy. Remember, you have to go on $20 plan or higher, but that would be there's a $5 extra rebate on that as well for October. So that's only $15 to your customers this month. Normally it would be $20, only $15 this month in October. Awesome price. Your customer can have the door $35. You have unlimited talk and text on the phone. Can you beat that? No, you can't. It's awesome. And then the $4 rate plan or above, they get $30 rebate, and the $5 extra makes that only a $5 phone. So if you could put a customer on the $40 rate plan, they're out your door paying $45, right? So very, very awesome pricing on these devices. We also do have, just a reminder, we do have preloaded SIMs that have 3 months of service on them. So those you can kind of mark up. You play with the margins there, but those are available as well. They do have AT&T or T-Mobile SIMs that have 3 months of service. Just want to make you guys are aware that we have those for you if you want them. Also, additional specs on these phones: that Blue G33, a 3,000 milliamp battery, 5 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel front camera. The Neo Flip, 1,000 milliamp battery. It does actually have a rear camera, 0.31 megapixels. Back to the old days of your fuzzy pictures on your phones, but it does have a camera on there. With that said, question for you guys. These phones coming to Gen Mobile are new, and we're kind of being selective on the phones that we think you guys are going to want to sell. But what phones would you guys like to see added to the Gen Mobile portfolio? What phones would you purchase? You can type your answers in the chat box, or just feel free to come off mute if you're not happen to be online. And what phones would you guys like to see more of?
iPhone 11.
Okay.
Or XR, because those don't have a home button on them. So that people think this is like the up-to-date phone. So it's gonna be better for us to push the iPhone XR or iPhone 11.
Okay. Any Androids?
Androids, most of the people like Samsungs. I don't know if that's
Like an AO,
fair.
well, you think an AO3 would sell?
Well, AO3 should be selling. It depends on the price, of course. If you can, like, push over $100 with the activation and everything, I'm sure we can do that.
Is there a price point that you want that you would say is your top when you're looking at a phone for Gen Mobile that you don't want to spend more than?
It's not that. The question is, I just we need Gen Mobile to be competitive with the other company.
Sure.
If you go walk into Boost or walk into Metro or walk into Verizon, whatever, what's the cheapest phone we can get right now out of the door?
Gotcha.
That's the thing we're looking for. We're not looking for to beat the prices, like basically to be competitive with the other companies.
Okay, great. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, because we're looking at other phones to bring into the fold. So yeah, your feedback is really appreciated. Anyone else have any feedback? All right. If not, that is kind of it we had right in our 30-minute window. So I'm at 30 minutes right now. At that point, we will open up for any questions. Are there any other questions out there? Anything related to Gen Mobile?
We need also like a spreadsheet where we can find out the prices.
Oh, there should be one available. The Gen Mobile Hub. Do you get the Hub email?
Hub email? I gotta look it up. Okay.
Search for Hub. Oh, yeah, and this is something I want to throw on the deck. I didn't throw it in there. The Hub, you guys, that Hub is basically everything from this deck. I was able to get together from that Hub. That's your playbook. That's where it's going to give you every piece of information you guys need. You want to make sure you're looking at that Gen Mobile Hub. If got a lot of emails like me coming in, I just type Hub in my browser whenever I have Gen Mobile questions, and boom, it's loaded with so many resources. All your training guides, your step action guides for everything are in there. Any special promotions, it's going to let you guys know. Mario, I see you have your hand up. You got a question?
Yes, I do. I have a quick question for you, Adam. So the problem that I'm kind of running into when I go ahead and put the customer on a $50 unlimited plan, so what ends up happening is usually like the last week, they actually run out of internet. So I know it's at it stops pretty much at the 35 gig, but I've been running into that issue a lot. What's your suggestions for this?
Adam, I'll go ahead and take this one. So one of the
Okay.
things I would do too is obviously start to take a look at that customer's plan, right? If they're consistently using over 35 gigs, one of the things that we don't actively advertise is, right, we really give them up to almost 40 gigs as kind of a run through. We give them about 5 gigs on the back end of that typically as a run through to get them closer to 40, knowing that there are some customers that are going to go a little bit beyond that. We're not ready to market that specifically on our collateral or online, but just from some back end knowledge, we tend to give them a run up of about an extra 5 gigs really for free. What we're noticing on the back end is that for us, the users that have that data suspended tend not to be the users that are 4 or 5 gigs over. These tend to be the guys that are 10, 20, 30, or sometimes 40, and they use it in such a fast time period that when we catch it, we shut that data off so that they have to really kind of get in contact with you guys, get in contact with our customer care team because we do want to talk to them about their usage behaviors and make sure that they understand that Gen Mobile does provide them up to 35 gigs right now with a little bit of grace on it, and make sure that they're using it responsibly. One of the things that I'll add to that is that you will see some rate plan enhancements come towards the end of this year, either in December or January, that should up that marketable limit for you. In addition, as we begin to finish our migration over onto the Dish MVNO rates, what that will allow us to do is be even more competitive in the market as to how we price our plans, which will give us more flexibility on the back end to provide more data and potentially more roaming options as well. So it becomes cheaper for us to provide even more data as we move over onto those rates, which again is set to happen by the end of this year, which ultimately gives you and your customers a better overall experience with the amount of data that they can use. To answer the question, Mara, there's not a lot we can do as far as just exponentially giving them more data. But what I will say is there's a couple options. If they're just a little bit over to get through the end of the month, we're talking a gig over that, maybe 40. Care may be able to extend it by a little bit of data to get them through the end of the month. The other option is, let's say this customer knows they're going to travel, they need some usable data. You do have the ability in ePay now, either other dealer tools or add-ons, enhancements, to go in and click and apply a payment today, and actually will restart their data and their plan effective today. So instead of waiting 7 days from now in order to get that plan to be ready to top back up, you can actually top in and ask the questions, do you want to apply this payment today? And you can choose to do so, giving that customer back their full high-speed data starting today, and then resetting their billing cycle to today's date as well.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of a good option, because if that customer, let's say that they had a data add-on pack and it was going to cost them, $10 or $20 more for a data add-on pack, and they only had a few days left in their bill anyway, it might be a better value for them just to go ahead and pay that bill and have that all start over. Depending on where they're at.
So usually, Adam, if I ever run into that situation, it's kind of a hit or miss. So when I reach out to the customer service, it kind of depends on who I'm speaking to. So sometimes they would actually go ahead and just kind of refresh it on their end, and they would be good for the last week. And then sometimes with customer service, they don't really want to do it. So it's like a hit or miss, usually when it comes to that.
Mara, have you ever asked them specifically, like how much data that customer's used? Have they told you how much data it's been used when it comes down to that?
Yeah, it's usually, they hit that 35 gigabyte grace period. But, usually I try to make sure that their data is not on the roaming, because usually when data roaming is on, also that finishes their data much quicker. So I try to kind of, go through that. But that's really, if they go ahead and increase that, that would actually, help us go ahead and push the $50 plan more. Because when you go ahead and provide that to a customer, they want to go ahead and pretty much think that's fully unlimited. So, if they go ahead and raise that, that would actually make it much easier, for the customer not to complain.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely be happy. I think some of the things we want you guys to take away as well is that we're definitely open to and apply your feedback. One of the things that we've gotten is, we used to have a 2G throttle on a lot of our plans, right, which made iMessage unusable. We went back to our development team. We figured out how to get it integrated. It's now 3G, right? So now you can use WhatsApp. Now you can use iMessage. Now you can get through some of those MMS functions and features when you get that slower data speed, because we still want it to be a usable experience. Some of the things coming from the phone program, already coming from dealers that I heard on this call as well, iPhone 11 and iPhone XR. We're actively looking to and exploring pricing and color options right now on those specific devices. When we transition onto the AT&T or T-Mobile MVNO rates under Dish, we're also looking at adding in some of the Samsungs, so some of the AO3s, the Motorola's, the Moto G Plays, more of the Stylus. So we know that those iconic devices are devices also being shopped by our competitors and sold by our competitors. So we're looking at providing the most holistic profile possible that we can in order to get them into your doors and give you guys a selling chance to run with this. I think the other thing that you'll notice is when you look at rebate qualifications, right? For Verizon, you got to be on $40 or $50 plans to get some of these rebates. For H2O, it's only a $25 rebate. You've got to sell it within a certain amount of time or stack it on a 3-month loaded plan. For Simple, it's between $25 and $35 rebates, but they typically have to be on specific plans. With Gen Mobile, guys, as long as you're on a $20 plan and higher, you're going to qualify for the rebates that we're offering. So we're going to give you essentially more money, right, on any plan when you factor in the cost of the phone and the options available. So keep giving the feedback. I'd love to hear it. I know the DCI team does as well. If because this allows us to provide the best option and phone program possible for everyone here.
And then also, guys, to add to the previous comment that and one of the retailers made on the cost, for every on the call, that rebate program and description and cost, it's on DCIorders.com. So when you click on the image of the device, you actually see the same chart that Adam presented just a few moments ago.
Yep. Yeah. Our
And
rebates
then-
are built into the DCI website, which is pretty nice. So yeah, that's exactly what Robert's saying. Once you go on DCI website, you look at your phones, you'll see your rebates right there on all of them.
And there also was a question that came in from one of the partners. Is there a plan to bring phone insurance program to Gen Mobile?
I think it depends on what happens with Lifeline and the success of this phone program down the road. Right now, we're not actively talking about adding a phone protection program to the mix. But again, I think that depends on overall success of this program and how quickly it scales. And then obviously, as we also support Lifeline on the other channel for Gen Mobile, what does that look like? And is there a need across the board to add that to the portfolio? So no talking about it yet.
Got it.
Good
Thank you.
question. All right, guys. Any other questions out there? You got the top of the Gen Mobile team on here. So if there's anything on your mind, go ahead and ask them now. Going once.
Hey guys,
Go ahead.
I think there's one last thing I'll call out here. I've kind of gone through a few notes here. If you've ever done an activation on Gen Mobile and you go to get the phone program, it activates online, you use the IMEI checker, and all of a sudden it says no service. Some of you may have experienced that issue in the past. There's a really quick fix for that. Check your APN settings on the device specifically. On the Gen Mobile dealer support webpage, genmobile.com/dealer-support, there's an APN settings checker where you can type in the phone number, or I believe it's the SIM card number for the activation that you've done, and it will tell you the exact APN settings necessary for that device. There are times where at the point that we ship it, that APN may need to be updated if it's a little bit of an older device by the time you receive it. And the OTA push doesn't always catch every aspect of it. So if you've ever been a dealer that's run into one of those things, it's not that the system doesn't support the activation on the phone. It's not that the profile's not there in the back end correctly. It may be that that phone didn't pick up, one part of that APN setting. So just make sure that it's correct before it leaves the door. And that's a quick way to make sure that the service does show up on your phone. It activates successfully. And again, that end user, being the customer, gets the best experience possible in the least amount of time inside of your door. Newer phones, iPhone, 14s, 15s, the eSIM, any of the newer Galaxy devices, we know that those are going to typically pick up those APN settings directly over the tower, pull them in. As they come online, they're going to pull them back in, right? We're talking about some of the older legacy phones out there that you're going to find at the cheapest points across all carriers. These are some of those phones you may want to double check the APN settings on just to make sure.
And to kind of trail off that or follow that, the phones that DCI has available for you guys to order, we purposely made sure to choose the phones that did not have to have any APN settings updated, because I know that's kind of caused some frustration in the field. So any of those phones you guys get from us on DCI website, you will not have to worry about updating the APN settings on those phones. They're going to be very quick, easy activation for you. All right, guys. Well, that is it. Thank you so much. If you want a copy of this deck, I will send it to all of your DCI account managers. Just reach out to them and they can forward you a copy of it. Thanks so much for hopping on. Anyone else have anything else they want to add before we close out?
And just a reminder, Adam, that this call will be also posted to our YouTube channel after later on this afternoon.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Take care.
so much.